Hey you guys, I am going to give it some time and let some folks come on in the room. But hello to Miss Carmela. Hello, Miss Marquette. I am definitely gonna give it some time, let some folks come on in. Come in and let's sip this tea. Girl, come talk to me. Now let me stop. Y'all, we gonna give it some time and let some folks come on in. Come in and let's sip this tea. Y'all know Glenn ain't never gonna be on time. Hey, Mr. Majay. I say we probably ain't gonna see Glenn until about 12:15, 12:30. You know he ain't never on time. Hey, Miss Monet. Y'all are more than welcome to come up on the panel. I dropped the link into the chat. You are more than welcome to come on up. Yep. More than welcome. I hope y'all are staying warm and out of this nasty weather. It has been raining here almost all day. I'm like, I ain't going nowhere. Nowhere. Mm-mm. Yeah, Glenn, he told me I'm gonna be on time. I told him, I said, well, Glenn, for you, let me go on and tell you that it started at 11:30 in hopes that you'll be on time. Talking about you said 12, then I'll be there. Hey, Miss TT, and put this link in here. Yep, this weather is nasty. Nasty, nasty, nasty. So guys, really, I won't be before you long. I know other people wanted to have a discussion on this as well. And so this won't be the only live that we do. It'll be a couple of others because I definitely want anyone who wants to voice their opinion, their thoughts, to come up at any point in time and share those thoughts and opinions. Um, but it was a couple of things that Mr. Jackson, Gerald Jackson, had actually said there was rumors and was lies, and he was trying to clear those up yesterday. And so I kind of wanted to touch bases on those. And then, like I say, we'll be doing some other lives in regards to this topic because this is a very, very sad case and it's heartbreaking. Then I also wanted to talk about what Mr. Majay has said in the chat, not in the chat, in the comment section down below in regards to her feelings and thoughts. But into that, I'm gonna give it another minute or so, and then we will see. Cause y'all know, like I say, Glendon will never be on time for anything. Um, Knowing him, he probably asleep. But let me see. Um, like I say, y'all are more than welcome to come up and talk. First, I wanted to talk about what Samaje has said. Samaje, can you put your question, I mean, not your question, your comment back into the chat so that way we could talk about your comment and your feelings? You might as well keep the looking eyes. Hey, Miss Daniela, how are you? Y'all, Miss Daniela is a rock star. She always shows up and shows out for me, especially with anything pertaining to help or whatever I need. I can't thank her enough for all that she does for the chat, for this channel. It is very much so appreciated. She is all the way in the Czech Republic, and she still manages to show love and respect for all of us. So I just truly appreciate all the love and everything that you do. Here come my girl TT. Hold on. Okay. Well, we gonna get started because Glendon, he
Can you
ain't.
hear me?
Yes, ma'am, I can. Okay, so I'm assuming everybody in here has already been privy to what's going on because I know I've been covering
It's
it.
gonna mess up on my end. Let me drop down. Sorry, y'all.
Oh, okay. Um, I see Miss Breeze. Hey, Miss Breeze. Um, but yeah, I'm sure everybody has been privy to everything that's going on. Um, and it's just such a sad case. So sad. I understand about being tired, Daniela. Whew, this weather got me going. But I'm just waiting for Miss Samaje to put her comment back up so that way we could talk about her comment and then we'll move into the things that Mr. Jackson had wanted to clear up. And his statements are coming from the family. Um, at this case, I'm assuming that he is like the spokesman for the family because he has been covering this story in its entirety. You can find him at, oh, okay, Miss Marquette. You can find him at North Carolina The Beat. Okay, so let me put Miss Samaje's comment up. It says, Miss Leda, my gut is telling me one of them men killed her. I'm just thinking about her injuries and how severe they was. I mean, to crack someone's spine, that seems like a blow from a man, not saying a woman. Now, hey, round table vibes. Um, so let me say this. It definitely can come from a woman, not just a man. Um, and so all of them who fought her were a contributing factor. I don't know if you guys watched the video that I actually posted of the actual fight, the first round with Dejanay. So if you're looking at that video, if you look in the video when she fights her, the girl, Miss Shanquella, is only 125 pounds. So she's very lightweight. There's a lot of women that can bench that. I can bench that. Okay. Maybe my legs more so than my upper body. But if you look in that video, when she actually was fighting her, the young lady had flung her into the bed. And bones can be brittle at times, and it doesn't take much to break them, especially when you don't have a lot of body fat. And so this young lady, like I say, it was only 125 pounds. Then the way she was punching her, her head was down. That is contributing factors as well. Now, when the other girl raised her up, it depends on how much force that she had when she raised her up and body slammed her. But it can come from a female just as well as a male. But I feel like that was a good point to bring up. Um, they all guilty in my eyes. They all had a hand in this. This is just messy as nasty. I believe it was the so-called best friend. Now, girl, that so-called best friend. Hmm. I don't know what to say about that so-called best friend. But let me clear up some of the things that Mr. Jackson had said first. So Mr. Jackson was saying that Dejanay is definitely a woman. It had been a lot of debate on if she was transgender, if she was a man. I mean, I've heard a little bit of everything. I thought it was a man from these pictures that they had put up. But they, oh baby, when I say they altered her face and everything else, and when you actually see photographs of her, then you'll know it's a female. But in the very beginning, I honestly thought it was a man because of all the various pictures that was floating around. It made her look as if she was a man. And so Mr. Jackson actually had put up like the passport and some other things, and that cleared that up. So that's the first thing he said. Dejanay is actually a woman. She's not trans, none of that. It is actually a woman, and it was an assault from woman to woman. So my question is, what transpired? Because she said when she was fighting her, I'm sick of this. Like that's what I want to know. What happened beforehand? Because she said, I'm sick of this. As if it was something that had been going on for a long period of time. And I'm wondering if you guys had noticed, it looked like as if they was making their, you you know how you get in trouble and you get chastised by your parent. It almost seemed as if they was trying to chastise her for something. And that's what stood out to me because she was standing there and then just all of a sudden the girl started swinging on her. And it's like as if you stripped her of everything. You have her butt booty ass naked, and it's like she's being chastised as she's a little child or something. Okay. TT says she's experiencing issues. So the StreamYard is causing problems for her. Hopefully she'll be able to get in. I definitely think it was some hate on there. Because the way that so when she entered into that bedroom, that told everything. The way that they looked at her was like, what the F you doing in here? Because I'm telling you, if I'm with my homegirls and we in a room and I'm looking for them and I'm yelling, where you hoes at? They gonna, bitch, I'm over here. What, they gonna say something to get my attention to let them know, to let me know where they at. None of them said nothing. They absolutely said nothing. It was almost said, hey, Miss Marquette.
Hey, Leda.
Yeah. So none of them said nothing when this girl walked in that room, and it was as if they looked at her like she had shit on her. So I don't know. What
Right.
thoughts?
That's what I thought when she went in the room and she, started asking her where they was at and why it was taking so long. They all turned around and looked at her like, "What you doing here?"
Yeah.
What, like calling her, just looking like you don't belong in here. So I feel like then at that point in time, I felt like they was plotting how they was gonna do everything because I really believe that they planned to kill this young lady.
Mhm.
That's my take on it. They took her over there to kill her
Mhm.
because when I looked at the video and when Donjanae, you said Donjanae, whatever her name was,
Station A. Mhm.
Dejanay was beating her. When she slung her against the bed, Shanquella never got up off her butt. She still was sitting up like her head was limp over.
Mhm.
So at
Yep.
that point in time, she was already hurt.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
that's crazy.
And see, by her not raising her head up, when that lady Dejanay, well, I wouldn't even call her a lady. That thing Dejanay was contributing them blows to her. Again, her neck is down, so that's bending her neck even more, and the force, because them licks wasn't no light licks. Like she was
Right,
trying to make sure she let it know I'm getting it in. And
right,
so, yeah, that definitely can be a contributing factor to the bones breaking in the neck because it doesn't take much actually to break bones. People think it take a lot, but it really don't take that much. You can fracture a bone very easily. I had a friend who was walking, um, and she actually had stepped down on the curb wrong and broke the bone in her ankle. Just that easy. And it really, it doesn't take much to actually break a bone. So Yeah, that definitely could be a contributing factor. Oh, I don't know what happened to Miss Marquette. There you go. Okay.
Sorry.
Oh, no problem. So now the next thing that Mr. Jackson wanted to clear up at the family's request is that the only person that has done a live or said that they were going to do a live is Nazir Wiggins. The rest of them, someone has been making up fake pages in regards to them. It's not them who has been making comments and everything, requesting money and all of that. It is fake pages that they have been made up on. Now, Niger has since fled to New York, and the rest of them, they are not sure where they are, but the police have been trying to go to even old addresses or old places that may be affiliated with them to try to find them and bring them in for questioning. Now, there is going to be charges. If there's charges that come about, they're going to take place in Mexico as well as in the US, because this took place in a different location. So it will be charges brought up in Mexico as well as in the US. Um, he also wanted to clear up, the dad said that no money was stolen. At this time, they are not aware of any money being stolen from Shanquella. At this time, he is not aware of any money being stolen. When he said $6,000, almost $7,000, he was referring to the body being brought back. Now, what I'm thinking that people are getting confused is when they said that it was going to cost him $5,000 to get her to the ER, which is a bald faced lie. Because y'all can Google it. I looked it up. Mexico is one of the cheapest places that you can go to get medical attention. And for a US citizen to get medical attention, it may cost between 50 to $400. But it's one of the cheapest places for you to be seen, as well as for you to get prescriptions filled. That's why a lot of people go over there for various cosmetic surgeries and everything else, because it's that cheap versus here in the US. So I don't know if they were trying to scam the family for the $5,000, um, or if they were trying to basically kind of like shift blame. Like, if you don't come up with this $5,000 and your child died, then it's on you because you didn't send the money and we told you how much money we needed, type thing. Or if they was trying to just test and see how deep their pockets really was, to see if they would be able to get their child back home, or just to see how much money they might have had, period. What you think, Miss Marquette?
Yeah, I think that too, and I also think that maybe they was trying to give time for her to pass because they knew they had did something deadly.
Mm-hmm.
Because they knew the parents gonna say, well, she got insurance, and they knew that they weren't gonna accept the insurance because she was from the United States.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it was that what you just said, and also you know trying to let her pass.
Now the mom was saying that she thinks when she got that second phone call that her child had already passed, but they was just trying to actually come up with something real quick.
Right. Right. And then what kind of got me with the Nazir guy, he talking about when he went in the room, he wasn't there till he went in the room, and he found her, he put her on her side because she was throwing up. And but if you did all that, why you didn't see the knot and the busted eye vessel?
Now, okay, so he said he seen the busted eye vessel and that he seen her busted lip. But what he said he didn't recognize is that she had a knot on her head. But everything that he said was a bold faced ass lie. I'm sorry.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Because didn't they
So
leave her? Didn't they, was it reported that they left her in there and that the maid found her dead?
that's what the father said. The father said that the maid found her dead. As if they fled the scene after the crime. so that way they wouldn't be held over in Mexico, because Mexico prison, they say, ain't nothing to play with. It's
It's not.
absolutely nothing to play with. And
It's not.
so they fled the scene. But that's
Hmm.
another reason why I think they were telling the father, that they needed $5,000 to take us to the ER, because me and TT was talking, maybe
Hmm.
they was trying to get them tickets changed out quickly and they didn't have the money on hand. And so they was trying to hurry up and get the money so that way they could get the hell out of Dodge.
So how did you think they got back if they didn't take no money from her? So how you think they got back?
They had to have had some money on their own, in order for it to be able for them to be able to get it, or they went to the airlines and said that it was a medical emergency within the
Hmm.
states and they had put them on a standby ticket.
Okay.
That's the
So do
only
you
way
think?
that I'm thinking.
So do you think race played a part? Because I felt like if she would have been white,
Mhm.
they would have never let them left like that. Because she was black, they were like, okay, we'll take your story and go home.
But see, that's where the confusion comes in, because I'm not sure. The father said that they left his daughter there in the villa and the maid found her dead. So if that's the case, then they had to have hopped on planes without actually contacting the police and letting them know that the young lady was dead. So they
Mhm.
evaded any type of opportunity to speak to police. They left in the commission of a crime and stuff like
Mhm.
that. So now, if they in fact contacted the
Mhm.
police would have had to look more in depth into it, because if Niger is able to say, "Oh, I seen that she had a blood vessel on her eye bust and her lip was blood bust," then how could they come up with the conclusion that it was alcohol poisoning?
Yeah, and then Nazir said that he stayed there till the doctor got there.
To the nurse, the female nurse that got there.
Right.
So, so now, Mr. Gerald Jackson had did a phone conversation and he recorded it with him. And in the
Mhm.
phone conversation, he was like in heavy debate. And he said, Niger said that he actually had administered CPR to her. But
Mhm.
when he did his live, he said he wasn't even there. When he got there, he just was treating it as if it was alcohol poisoning based upon what they said. But that was a lie,
Right.
because he said that he didn't get there until 3, and at 4 something he was saying to her, "Come on, we didn't come 2,000 miles for you to lay around and all of this and that." But the medical examiner said she died at 3 o'clock. So how could
Right.
you just be getting there at 3 and rubbing her head and everything unless she died in your lap?
Right.
So yeah, it's a lot of lies that he's told, but it's one of those things where he's trying to take himself out of the equation altogether
Mhm.
and make it look like he wasn't there, but your ass was there. And
Right.
he made now he got to be the most stupidest person. Lord forgive me, because he showed his itinerary and he fails to realize that on your itinerary it says your departure time from where you leaving and your arrival time at your next destination.
Right.
And it said 12:19 is when he arrived. And the girl
And the,
died at
right.
3.
And then he said that they forged his handwriting because he wasn't there.
Yeah, he said that on that for that Friday. But
Right.
he kept alluding to like something had took place that Friday, and it just kind of carried on into that Saturday.
Right. Because he said when he did that live that he asked them, did y'all beat her? Did somebody beat her?
See, I never heard that part. He said that they knew not to tell him anything like that because he
Hmm.
would jump on them if he found out anything like that,
I
which
could have
made
swore I
me.
heard that. I might have misheard. I thought I heard it.
Yeah, because my whole thing was, okay, if you saying that you rubbing her head, then why you wasn't asking questions? Because ain't nobody gonna have no damn alcohol poison with a busted lip and busted blood vessels. Hey, Queen Rose. Let me see. Hold on. Let me read what TT said. Leader, I couldn't come up, but I'll keep trying. I want us to bring justice to this young lady's family. The more we talk about it, the more we help bring awareness and stand in this fight. Yes, definitely. Let me see.
Right.
But yeah, no, he said that he didn't know of any fight. He hadn't heard
Hmm.
about any fight because he wasn't there. That was his whole thing. I wasn't there. I didn't see a fight. I didn't know nothing about no fight. They knew not to tell Niger because Niger wouldn't have done anything. Da 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 da.
Okay.
Which is why I think that the Mexican police didn't hold them accountable because they all fled. And according to the dad, the maid found her dead. And
Okay.
Niger said in his video, didn't no maid find her dead? I don't know where that faggot had got that. And so who he's calling a faggot was Mr. Gerald Jackson, which he's totally out of line for calling this man a faggot. I don't care if he's gay or not. You just
Right.
that's a derogatory comment, but that was his comment that he made. He's mad and he's upset because this man is reporting the truth, and you want to
Right.
call him all kind of names. Like, that's very indignant.
Right. And I felt like, that that Winifred girl, whatever her name is, Winter.
Mhm.
I feel like that was the final blow when she slammed her. When she grabbed her from her neck and then slammed her.
Mhm.
I think that
And
that's what was the fatal blow.
yeah, because in the video, like that, she's saying where you hoes at, you could tell it was nighttime because they
Right.
had all them lights on. But now, if you look, when she's actually getting closer to the room, one of the guys is standing at the door, and when she finally gets close, he starts acting like he's walking into the room, almost
Right. I
as if
saw
he
that.
was the lookout person for the
Right.
conversation. So, but I like say that they said that it was another young lady that was there, who didn't stay at the villa and she left. And I'm wondering if that is the young lady who actually had told the family that it was a fight that had ensued because she
Hmm.
got the video, or how they actually got the video. And Mr. Jackson was going to do a live with the sister last night, but the sister had buried her sister on Saturday, and it was just still difficult for her, and she couldn't do the interview yesterday.
Yeah, 'cause I know I saw on somebody's channel that they said her mama wasn't doing too good because she was so devastated.
Mhm.
So do you think, Lita, that they plotted to kill her before they got to Mexico, or you think it just happened when they got there?
I think they plotted beforehand, and this is my reasoning for saying that. Because in the states, in North Carolina, that's her territory. So she
Right.
knows people. That boyfriend would have popped up, or he would have been there. The sister would have been there. Somebody would have been there to have her back. But
Right.
if I get her into a different country where she don't know people, a different area, I'm taking her out of her element, and she only has us to rely and depend upon, then ain't nobody gonna be able to help her.
Right.
That's what I think.
Because I know it's going around that somebody trying to say she plotted against somebody else's cousin, I guess somebody in the group,
Hmm.
and that she has set the cousin up. So did you hear anything about that?
I did hear about that, and so I will say this. Now, it, let's entertain that for a second. If that was even the case, then they got to be stupid yet again,
Right.
because you're saying that, one, this was premeditated because you're taking her out for killing someone else, and it's premeditated.
Right.
So you took justice in your own hand. So you still going to jail for premeditated murder, and you stupid because you went ahead and put this in a letter and sent it around to various people.
Right. Then
So
I then I was then I was thinking like she never went to whip with somebody. She thought she just set up somebody.
yeah. So the whole thing was, they said that Khalil and her had been on vacations before, that they had been on vacations with the family. Like, you would have never thought that Khalil would allow something like that to happen, and he's been so close to the family this whole entire time.
Right.
So I definitely don't think she saw anything coming, but I think Khalil had a hand in it because they said he was the one that brought the two girls.
To the house, right?
Mm-hmm. And
Okay.
so he had to have had knowledge of it, but he's not saying anything. He went along with the lie and said that it was alcohol poisoning. And if you notice in Nigeria's video, he kept going on and on about I wasn't there to plot no alibi or nothing like that. So they must have told him something pertaining to an alibi. And he's trying to yet again clear his name real quick by saying
Right.
so that's what I took of it. But I definitely feel
Mhm.
like they did it on purpose. They planned to get away out of the area because that way she wouldn't have no help.
Right. Right. And then just kill her like that.
Hmm. Yeah, Samaje, I think they panicked and they all started running when she died. And so they got the hell out of Dodge real quick because they didn't want to be confronted by the Mexican police.
Right. And then
Hmm.
my thing was this with Nazir is that if you said that you wasn't there and you came and you saw her hurt, she was already throwing up because her neck was broke, dislocated, her spine was broke, so she was already throwing up. So you tell me all these people watch her sit there choke off her vomit like that.
See, and that's a lie because he he couldn't have seen anything like that. Within 15 minutes of that final blow of being body slammed to the ground, she died.
Right.
So it was no throwing up or nothing like that. They said she was non-responsive as soon as that blow to the ground took place.
Okay.
So they
That's another
he
lie he told.
he made up the lie about the throwing up, and he seen her on the toilet and everything throwing up. But when he got, if you notice, he lied so much. He said that when he got there, she was laying on the couch and
Right.
not in the bedroom. So
Right.
they had to have picked her up and put her on the couch in order for her to be on the couch because the girl was non-responsive after that.
Right.
So it was no way she could have been throwing up. She wasn't able to move. She wasn't able to do anything. That's just to yet again to go with the lie that they had already came up with.
Mm-mm-mm. This is sad.
Very
This is
sad.
so sad. I'm just so confused because it's going around that she was had clothes on when they came and found her. So if she had clothes on when they came and found her, that means somebody got her dressed.
Yeah, they said that she had on her PJs at that time.
So that
So,
means that they had to have dressed her then because she couldn't
mm-hmm,
move. She couldn't move.
yep.
And
And
that's very calculating right there.
mm-hmm. See, my whole thing is it's like they wanted her to be naked as if they were embarrassing her. Um,
Right.
and they must have told her they were going skinny dipping, which is why the young lady when she comes into the room starts saying, "No, I'm gonna keep it hot," and the other girl starts talking about a bathing suit, as if
Right.
they had initially planned to go skinny dipping or something.
Right. Because I know when you die and you start losing fluids in your body, so she could have thrown up. You think? Because when you
No,
died, you do start expelling stuff.
now most people started spelling stuff when they are poisoned.
Okay.
But not every person that passes away starts to spell stuff. But if
Okay.
you're a surefire way to tell that a person has been poisoned, they start foaming at the mouth.
Hmm.
And that's the quickest way for you to know that it has to be some type of poison that was involved.
So all the throwing up came from Nazir. He just made that up.
Yeah, he made that
Okay.
up because the lady didn't have any alcohol in her system. Um, they even showed a video yesterday where they was at the table, and so I didn't see him at the table, Samaje, but you have to show me where he is at the table because I didn't see that. But yesterday's video, they showed them playing drinking games, but she only had one drink they showed in the video, and it wasn't shots. Like all the
Right.
other people had shots and stuff. They said she wasn't really a drinker or anything like that.
Okay. So you don't think she could have vomited from the blows to the head, anything like that?
No, because if she was going to vomit from the blows to the head, she would have done it in the video. You would have seen it like
Okay.
instantaneously.
Okay.
Yeah, that just was their way of saying to corroborate with one another's story that she was throwing
Right.
up.
Right.
I don't think any throwing up whatsoever took place. Yeah. Let's see.
Right. Because right,
Mhm.
they need to go to the Mexico prison because this is ridiculous. I mean, to leave her there by herself and they watched her die. They had to watch her die, and to leave her like that by herself, even though she's dead, she still was by herself. And
Mhm.
it just don't make any sense, how they could have just left her like that,
Yep.
you
So
know.
that's crazy to me. I don't get that at all. At all. But TT
Right,
say Nigeria is not credible at all. When he got there, had to check into the villa, and that was at 12 p.m. and she died at 3 p.m. Right. But when he's on the phone with Mr. Jackson, he said that he got there at 2 something. But his actual itinerary that he posted shows that he left Dallas Fort Worth at 10:30. That was his layover, was in Dallas, and he boarded his plane at 9:45, and then they left at 10:30, and so it shows that he got there at 12:19. So
okay,
from 12:19 to 3, let's say he didn't make it to the villa till 1. He still had a substantial amount of time to be there to see what was going on. He tried to make it seem like all of this had already taken place, and he walked into a shitstorm and he was trying to fix it. He did CPR and he did this and he was rubbing her head and he laid her on the side because, of course, when you got alcohol poison, that's the first thing you want to do is lay a person on their side so they don't choke to death on their vomit.
right,
And so he said that he was treating it as such, but then he didn't know that when you were doing chest compressions, when he was talking to Mr. Jackson, that that's classified as CPR. So
right,
how can you give CPR? And then most people who give CPR will not give a person who has any type of poisoning to them CPR because that
right,
stuff will shoot up in their mouth.
right,
So that was a lie altogether. He didn't try to perform no damn CPR. And then
right,
you know, some depending on how hard the person is actually doing them chest compressions, you can bruise some of the bones. So
right. You could
yeah.
break bones when you're doing CPR. When you do chest compressions,
Mhm.
you could break bones, ribs and stuff. Hmm.
Mhm. So yeah, that just altogether was a lie. It was just his way of trying to say, I rendered aid. Whatever happened, it happened, and I wasn't there. I came in trying to be the hero. No, you wasn't no damn hero. Miss
Right.
Monet, I definitely feel like they all should be held accountable.
Yes. Yes.
Somebody said facts. So let's see. Charge them. I'm with you, Miss Monet. Charge them all with murder. Facts, leader. Let's see. Queen Ross say, I feel he know very much like the rest of them. Charge all of them with murder, bring justice to the family, especially Shanquella. I'm with you. I am definitely with you, Queen Rose, because they all know something. And with
Right.
Talia being a best friend, like that's the part that really pisses me off. Why would you take them people to the mama house? You gonna take the two girls that you know killed her to the mama house? Like that don't make no sense to me.
And then you took her luggage to the house too.
Hmm. And so the mom said that he contacted her every day until he found out that she had that autopsy report. After that, all communication stopped. So you know you was guilty because now she got the proof that it wasn't any type of poisoning.
Right.
So,
And it's
mm-mm.
just crazy because okay, you didn't you say that they tried to say somebody else was there, but they wasn't there at the fight, or
So now I don't know how true it is, um,
okay,
but I don't think that this young lady was someone who was there, which is how the mom and the dad knew that it was
okay,
a fight. Um,
okay,
they said that this young lady didn't stay at the villa like after they ate and started playing the games, this young lady had left and went to wherever she was staying at. So
Okay.
this is my train of thought is when Jay Janae was sending out this video of beating on this girl, she must have been one of the people who got the video, and she contacted the mom and the dad. Because
Okay.
if you notice, the mom and the dad say, they heard it was a fight. And then when they started to ask them, they said no. And they came up with alcohol poisoning.
Right.
So that was their way of their alibi, not knowing that someone else had already contacted the family and said there was a fight.
Right.
So that's the only thing I can think of in that regards.
Okay. It's
Yeah.
just so crazy how everything happened because when she was walking through the room, I just wish she would have had, like me and TT was talking, some kind of discernment, that something was kind of off.
Baby, for real. Cause the way they looked at her, I'm like, I felt it. I'm like,
Right.
damn. I had to ask TT. TT, did you see that? Cause they looked like they was ready to fight it in.
Right. Exactly. It's just so crazy because if when her best friend was there, he was watching it or videotaping. Why you just didn't stop it? Why did you let it go on?
Mm-hmm.
This was a friend that you knew for 5 years.
And Niger said that he knew her for 9. So he known her for even longer. And I don't give a damn if you did come the next day. You was there when all of that stuff took place in the house. So for him
Right.
to keep trying to rule himself out as if he's not a prospect, then why you hurry up and flee to New York?
Right. And now you're saying you're getting death threats.
Hmm.
So, Lita, I'm asking you a question. So, if they go to, if the FBI pick them up and take them back to Mexico, do you think they're gonna do all their time there, or they gonna come back to the United States and do time?
They're gonna do both. Normally what'll happen is they will have to serve in Mexico because it took place in their jurisdiction. But
Hmm.
because they fled to the United States afterwards, the US can then turn around and charge them again.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
I
I'm
want
just
to
trying
know what the reason is too, Monea. What was you saying?
I'm just so confused about the police. The police. That's why I'm confused at, like, because I thought the police said they questioned them about it. Didn't they say they questioned them about it?
I've never heard that. The only thing that I've heard is the dad said that the maid found her dead.
Okay. Because
And
I thought
so,
the
hmm,
because I'm trying to figure out how did the police get it, like, because he's trying to say he stayed there. Nazir trying to say he stayed there with her, but then now we found out that he's lying about that. So that means that they left while she was dying.
hmm, or while she was dead.
Right.
And so with now it had to have gone just how the father is saying, because okay, here it is when they actually find out that the body was left there in the villa, it was from the maid. The maid had to contact the police or whatever. They couldn't actually question them because they were no longer in the area. They couldn't
Hmm.
detain them. So it does look like the Mexican police had actually dropped the ball, but how can you question someone and you don't know that it was a crime that was committed?
Right.
So that's the only thing, it had to have been like the dad said that the maid had found her dead, which would back up exactly what the mom said because when she was trying to find her daughter's body, because remember Khalil them told her that 3 ambulances had came and they tried to resuscitate her, but she had passed.
Right.
So when the mom goes to try to find the body, they trying to figure out what morgue she's in, and they couldn't find her in the morgue. She was still at the house.
Right.
So yeah, they all left.
This crazy. This is just, I'm just so heartbroken about this.
I am too.
Cause I got 3 girls and they grown, and I'm just imagining, like I was telling TT them, if that could have been me, I'm gonna be honest with you, Lita, I would have been looking for the family. I'd be trying to take family members out. I'm just being real about it.
Baby, I ain't gonna lie to you. I would have been the same way. I have one, and my baby won't be able to go nowhere until she in her 60s. I'm sorry. They can call
Right,
me straight whatever. You can go to grandma house or any house, but I don't know what goes on in other people's homes. I just know what goes on in mine, and it ain't gonna be no
right.
spending the nights, baby.
Exactly, because my thing is, and I want to say I know that they looking at social media, and I know they probably looking at YouTube. But if
Hmm.
you looking, whoever's hiding them, y'all need to stop hiding them and turn them in.
I agree. I agree wholeheartedly. Yes, Brees, it's definitely accessory after the fact. It's failure to report a crime. It's a lot of charges that can be brought up, but I don't know Mexican law. I just know in the US that they definitely can be charged with accessory after the fact, failure to report a crime. If they did speak to the Mexican authorities for lying to officials, um, yeah, it's a slew of charges that can be brought up.
Okay, so let me ask you one more question, leader.
Okay.
So, okay, on the report, I thought I seen it on one of the news thing that said that the Mexican police said that they only heard about a fight. So where did they get their information from?
I don't know. I didn't hear that. Um, when they actually showed the news report, the autopsy has said that um it was not alcohol poisoning, and they said that yes, it was some type of violent death or something to those effects. But I've never heard that the Mexican authorities said that it was a fight, because remember the mom them were waiting for the autopsy report,
Right.
so they hadn't had any direct contact, from my understanding or my thought, with the police to say that, it's speculations of a fight from the Mexican authorities. It only came from the young lady who had contacted the dad and the mom to let them know it was a fight that ensued,
Okay.
because the Mexican police didn't even know what they were investigating for. They just knew it was a dead body. So they had to do an autopsy on the body to find out what was going on. And it wasn't alcohol poisoning when they found out through the autopsy.
Okay.
Monea, I honestly don't know what the reason was that they did this. Um, they, like I said, there is supposedly a letter floating saying that Shanquella has set up the cousin, their cousins, and that's what
Right.
transpired. But I don't think that ever happened. I really just don't believe that. I think that was just somebody's way of trying to justify their actions, but still it's premeditated murder. He knows a lot
Mhm.
for somebody that wasn't there. He sure do know a lot. He was there. Trust and believe he was there. Let's see. It takes a cold-hearted person to move a dead baby, don't it? Because I'm telling you, my mama them from Louisiana. You don't mess with the dead don't mess with you. I ain't touching no dead body. Don't even play like you finna touch me with a dead body. That shit ain't going down.
And
Um,
then turn around and then dress her.
yeah, that part right there is the crazy part.
It's just so heartbreaking. I just want them to be caught, and whoever hiding them, please stop hiding them. Turn them in. This is somebody's daughter. They left her dead. They body slammed her. They broke her neck. Please turn them in, y'all. Please.
Okay, hold on. Let me see. Um, you can tell he was lying. He kept repeating himself. Not only that, I had to study body language, and so person who fidgets and constantly has to look away, it means that they're lying. And so that was part of the problem with him. He couldn't control his body actions, and he had to keep jumping up, and then he was messing with his hands, and he's looking off, and then he'll look back into the camera. It was almost as if, like I say, that he was trying to tell you yes without telling you yes. Like, if you ever heard people say when they watched Bill Clinton, they seen Bill Clinton say, I did not have sexual relations with Monica Lewinsky. But at the same time, the man was bobbing his head, letting you know, yes, I had sexual relations with this woman. So you got to make your actions match your word. And his actions was saying, I have guilty knowledge of something, but let me go ahead and remove me from this factor. That's all I
Right.
can see. Um, let's see. TT say, I believe she could still throw up upon dying because a person losing body fluids and contents from the stomach sometimes, and he could have witnessed that if he was there. He wasn't there. I mean, he was there, but in regards to throwing up, you would have seen that instantaneously. Um, like, okay, so for example, when you're boxing and the boxer get hits in the jaw or whatever, the body fluids start flying from the mouth. When she was taking them blows, you would have started seeing some fluids coming out of her body. You know what I'm saying? I don't see the throwing up part at all. I think he only mentioned the throwing up to make it coincide with their story of it was alcohol poisoning.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
So do you think it was a lot of jealousy? Because I think it was jealousy too.
I do too. I think it was jealousy. Um, but it has to be something that was going on that they were mad about because the girl kept saying, I'm sick of this. As if it was something that had been going on for a long period of time. And now she's just succumbing to her anger. And that's what I want to know. What were you so angry about that you had to keep beating on this girl like that?
And why was Winter? Why was she so angry to body slam her there?
Okay. And then the other young lady, Elise, they said she was fighting her as well. And so the crazy thing was Elise had just lost her sister. I want to say they said the 28th. Um, or somewhere around there, or they had just buried her sister on the 28th. So she wasn't even supposed to be coming on the trip, but they talked her into going to kind of take her mind off of everything. And so she jumps in and fights her. Like that part just didn't make sense to me. Why would you fight her? And you just lost your sister?
So you ain't never heard? Did you hear Lita that all of them joined in and jumped on her?
Now I have heard that,
Because I
but
have too.
according to Mr. Jackson, he said the three girls actually had jumped her. Um, and that first it was Dejanay, then Elise, and then Winter, when she jumped in, she actually picked her up and body slammed her.
Mm-mm-mm.
Let's see. Queen Rose say the law better bring justice to the family in Shanquella. Lots of people around the world, especially her hometown, is hurting and grieving. Most likely, someone's gonna take justice in their own hand. Baby, that's why they ain't hiding. That's why they ain't hiding because they know these folks want justice, an eye for an eye. They ain't thinking rationally right now. They thinking about you done took this girl life and you called yourself a friend. It's supposed to be loyalty when you say somebody your friend. If she was vomiting and self-conscious, she got from the fight. Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that.
So
That's
have you heard about a second video, Lita?
I have. So Mr. Jackson was saying that it is a second video, but the second video has not been released. And people were trying to say that the family actually had the second video, and the family does not have the second video. They have been told that there's a second video with Winter body slamming her, but they did not see a second video.
Oh wow. Well, Lita, I thank you for making the live. I really enjoyed it. I'm gonna jump on back down to get somebody else a time to come up here with you.
Okay, huh? I
But
appreciate you
I
too.
enjoyed it. I really
I did
did.
too. Anytime you want to come up, you just let me know. You more than welcome to come up.
Okay, thank you. We'll go back in the chat.
Okay. All
All
right.
right. Bye bye.
Bye bye. Okay, hold on. Daniela says to me it seems that something made up all the vomiting things. Yeah, because they kept saying it was alcohol poisoning, then that's the reason why I feel like they came up with the she was throwing up. Let's see. He was standing up with the wife beat on. Yes, Samaje. He was standing up, then he'd bend down, he'd stand up, he blinking his eyes, he'd look away, then look back into the camera. He started deflecting, saying, well, I thought it was a male nurse that was coming to the house, but then it was a female nurse. But if she had lost that much fluid from allegedly throwing up, then they would have taken her to the emergency room versus having someone come to the house if it was that severe. Now, you know, it had to have been severe for them to pick up the phone to contact the mom and the dad to say that she was alcohol poisoned. So you wasn't smart enough to just rush her to the nearest hospital. And they couldn't say or have the Mexican hospitals to say, oh, well, we need $5,000. Why wasn't they put on the phone to say that they needed $5,000? TT say, I believe they all plotted, and it was apparent when she walked in on them. Yes, definitely. I wish she would have felt something. Yes, I agree wholeheartedly. At least someone know their energy was out. I heard Shanquella's cousin spot. Now I haven't heard that, Miss Phillips. But if he was there at that funeral, baby, that's some balls. She ain't had no. You better say that, Monet. She had acquaintances. Like my mama used to get mad at us when we would say we had friends. No, you don't have no friends. You got acquaintances. Stop saying that. My mama didn't play that. You don't say you have friends. You got acquaintances. Um, yeah, she didn't play that. And outside of listening in could have picked up on her being in immediate danger. I think she was standing by the glass door trying to go out if when they came in her room confront her. She could have been. I honestly don't know. Like I say, it's so many details that are still missing that's just crazy. And he left out unbeat because I wouldn't have beat his tip. I know that's right. I'm sorry. Let my friends come and you not jumping in and somebody trying to jump me, we gonna have all kind of problems. The lie Elise was beating on Shaquille. Yes, Elise beat on her too. Um, all three of the girls actually had beat on her. I wonder why. TT, I wonder why the boyfriend wasn't there either. He must have had to work or something. Hold on. I'm gonna be on time, huh?
You said what?
I'm gonna be on time, huh?
Yeah, we got a safety meet. We have a safety meet.
Oh, okay. Y'all know Glendon is never on time. But anyhow, yeah, I don't know where her boyfriend was. That part right there, that I wonder about.
What y'all talking?
We're talking about Shanquella Robinson, and we're talking about so she had a boyfriend, but her boyfriend didn't go on the trip. And so we're trying to figure out why the boyfriend didn't actually go on the trip.
Where he go or something?
Huh?
He didn't want to go, or
Like
girls
you going
trip.
in and out. Say it again.
He didn't want to go, or it was an all
No,
girls.
it wasn't just girls. No, it wasn't just girls. So it was three girls and three guys. Wait a minute. Yeah, three girls, four girls and three guys.
So why
Yeah,
didn't
four
he?
girls. I don't know. Nobody has said why the boyfriend didn't go.
I know I heard somebody she was throwing up and all the fluid. I mean, eh,
Okay,
mm,
so we was just talking about that. I believe that's a lie that Niger had came up with to make it coincide with what they were saying because they contacted the family and said it was alcohol poisoning. And he said that that's what they told him. And so he said that he found her hovered over the toilet throwing up, but the medical examiner said that she died within 15 minutes of the final blow. So it's no way that she's going to be hovered over the toilet throwing up. They said she was not responsive after that.
Yeah, I never heard that.
Yeah. So let's see. Well, she was dead. TT, her boyfriend probably wasn't there because maybe Shanquella and the best friend was then the friends. Yeah, I agree, Samaj. That definitely could be the reason why he may have had to work or something. And since Khalil and Shanquilla had been on family trips together and everything else, I don't think they foreseen it to be a problem with um, her and him going on a trip together. Let's see. I agree, TT. Now you see why I say I don't go anywhere with my men. Okay. More. She had broken ribs too. I haven't heard them say that she had broken ribs. The only thing that I know that was broken was her neck and her spine.
She had to be beat.
Yeah, she was beaten. It's a video. It's video footage of her actually being beaten, and she was flung into this bed. And this girl just started beating her in the head. Now they are trying to figure out if something was put into her drink because the girl didn't fight back. She was taking the blows, and they were saying like the dude Khalil is in the background or Malik. I don't remember which one it is. I believe it's Khalil saying, "Damn, Shanquilla, are you gonna fight back? Can you fight back or do something?" Let's see.
But for her broken spines, the dude had to help her because I don't think a woman can break no spine. It's hard. It's hard.
And see, that's where you're wrong because with that body slam, if you look throughout the whole entire villa, it's no carpet, no padding or nothing like that. It is straight ceramic tile. And the way they saying that this girl picked her up and body slammed her, that could definitely break her spine because she was
hard.
only 125 pounds.
That's still hard.
It's hard, but the dudes wasn't no bigger.
But they men.
They
Men.
are men, and I hear you, but okay, so they broke her spine and they broke her neck. This girl was flung into the bed, and if you look at the video footage of this girl getting hit in the head, she never did raise her head up. Her head was down the whole entire time, and she just kept administering blows and blows and blows and blows. Like she couldn't raise her head up. They were saying that Mr. Jackson was saying that he thinks that they actually had put something in her drink, which is why her actions were so slow. Like she didn't even fight back.
It ain't in her drink because if you trust somebody, it's like you in a shock. Like damn, why? And you can't. It's 4 5 people. I mean, do about it. She probably thinking like the dude's gonna jump on him, so she in shock. You ain't got to put that in the drink for to be in shock. Trust me, I've been that way. You know what I'm saying? Like you trust that person, and you got 3 or 4 people coming at you. You don't know what to do. It's like damn, how I'm react? I'm here by myself. I mean, that could be the case, but and she probably was scared. Yo, once you're scared, ain't nothing you really can do. Your body get to shaking, you get weak out. I
Well,
mean,
they said she wasn't really a fighter to begin with, so very well could be. Like I say, very well could be. But let me see here. She said it's nearly impossible to go somewhere and not feel in danger. And see, with it being someone who she's been out of town with before, traveling with her family, done brought them to her mama house. I think that's why she was so relaxed and wasn't feeling any type of danger because everything had gone off without a hitch before. She said they went to her mom's house. They did. So Khalil, the best friend, and the two ladies who had beat on her had actually went to the mom's house and let her know what was going on.
so it's all let's question like what triggered this? Did they have problems before they left? And like, hey, we gonna kill everything. It got to be something else to it for them to just up and just jump on it like that. Ain't nothing just gonna trigger you just like that to go just terrorize a person. So it had to been something that most likely could have happened before they left. You know
Um,
how most women be. Y'all be like, oh yeah, girl, don't worry about it. We good now, and keep it moving. And she probably told her boyfriend probably like, I'm good. I'm going with the girls and such and such. They probably got in her head like, girl, he don't need to go. You know how he act. He might act out. Don't want you to do nothing. It could be something like that too. That's
what?
probably why he didn't go. You know.
But he knew it wasn't just girls. He knew that 3 guys was going.
Listen to what I told you, Leda. They probably got it in his head and say, girl, he don't need to go because he might not want you to do this. You might not want you to do that. You know how some women act when you got a boyfriend who probably just crazy. Every time you do something, you want to get mad. So he could have been one of those where they probably already planned to do this. Everybody ain't your friend. You feel me? That's just how it is.
Yeah. But I think if it was that case though, Glenn, don't you think that the dude would have been like, well, you ain't going
You
type thing?
can't tell he can't tell her, hey, you ain't going.
Okay, but some men think that they control, even if it's not a girl, if it's not their wife, they think they control their girlfriend and will say, well, you going on this trip with all these dudes? Yeah, yeah, it's a whole bunch of dudes. You ain't going.
One
Like you
question,
can go on and cancel that unless I'm going with you.
didn't you just 2 minutes ago that her and somebody went on a trip together before?
Khalil did, yes, which
Okay,
is why I'm saying I
so
don't think that it would have been a problem with the boyfriend because they had been on family trips together.
like I say, she probably got they probably already planned this. You know what I'm saying? Like we can do this to her and say this and that happened, but they don't know autopsy is they know everything when they come to do the autopsy.
Yeah, well, so with the autopsy, they had contacted the family while they were still in Mexico and told them it was alcohol poisoning. Then when they got back to the US, um, the the sister had asked them, I heard that there was a fight there. Oh no, it wasn't no fight. They're not knowing that apparently another friend had contacted them and let them know it was a fight. They're telling the parents that it was alcohol poisoning. And then when the medical autopsy came in, the girl didn't have no alcohol in her system. She had a broke spine and a broken neck.
See that play thing of in her drink or something like that. They didn't find no alcohol or nothing. They didn't put nothing in her drink. She was
But
scared.
see, this was my thing of thinking it could have been too late because you know how it takes so long for um like some type of stuff that you put in a drink to go out of the system because they left her body there.
I'm sorry, Lita. People got so much out there, they things they know everything, yo. Them take them autopsy. You ain't nowhere none of that.
They could have not even tested for it.
They gonna test for all that. That they gonna test for that because they do got to get a statement from somebody. Somebody got to say something.
They didn't get a statement though. That's what I'm saying. They left her.
But you got
They left her body in the villa. They
one thing.
contacted the parents and they told the parents that the girl was getting ready to be seen by 3 different ambulances. And then the next thing you know, they back in the US. They done packed up her stuff and everything. They left a day earlier.
And one thing about it, they on a trip. You in Mexico. You know what they finna do. You drinking. So that's common sense to do the alcohol and drugs and all that stuff. So that's out the way. Sorry.
I'm sorry, say it again. Like your thing keep breaking in and out.
If you want to, that's a trip, right? What they was in Cancun, that's a trip.
Cabo. They were in Cabo.
Okay, 9 times out of 10, you going to those different type of places and you going on a vacation or something like that. They know that some people finna drink, so stuff like that they gonna try to see was she intoxicated, did she fall on something, hurt herself, because they don't know.
And I get that, Glenn, but what I'm saying is when the girl died, They contacted the mother back and told her that the girl had died, but they left her there in the villa. They hightailed it out. So, the mom is thinking that her daughter's body has went to a morgue and stuff like that. I'm assuming it must not have been until Sunday when the maid had came in to clean the villa that she found the body. So when the mom was calling around to actually find the body was out. Was The body was still at the villa.
Mm. Mhm.
So it's crazy. TT say you making good points, Lena. I'm just pinpointing that we didn't see the second part of the video and the actual blow that yeah, that second video is definitely something that I would want to see. Um but so Glenn, what they said was there's a letter going around, and in this letter supposedly they was trying to pay Shanquella back because somebody's cousin was killed and they said that she had set him up. But I don't believe that because that would be stupid of them to write a letter like that because that's admitting to premeditated murder.
If you're not a criminal, some people do crazy stuff like that. It's just like you going to commit a crime and take your phone with you. They're gonna use your Google account to track your address. I mean,
Yeah.
where you been? No, some people commit crimes don't use common sense. They feel like we can do it outside the country and lie.
Mm-hmm. Samaje, in the beginning, they did say that all of them had jumped on her, but according to Mr. Jackson from the source that he got, it was just all three of the girls. But like I say, I don't know. No, no, Miss Lita. He had the wife beater on standing up at the dinner table. See, I didn't see that. I did see someone in a wife beater, but you couldn't see their face, and so I didn't think it was him. Plus, he actually didn't get on the plane until the day after. He got on the plane that Saturday. They had got there that Friday. So Niger wasn't there for the actual eating because remember that night that's when she was walking through the villa saying, "Where your hoes at?" It don't take you that long to get naked, and nobody was answering or responding to her. Niger wasn't there yet, so it has to have been one of the other dudes that was actually there. They were evil, evil. I pray even the person videotaping should go down. So the person videotaping Dejanay doing the blows was actually Winter. And then standing next to Winter was Khalil, which was supposed to be the best friend. And he's saying, "Damn, Shaquilla, can you fight at least fight back? Like, what kind of fucking best friend is that?" ATP, I wouldn't be surprised if they did Samaj them folks with snakes and definitely not friends. Lita, I wonder why no more of Shanquilla's friends wasn't there with her. She was all alone with them. Nothing but the see, I wonder that too. I wonder even why the sister didn't go because me and my sisters, we ride or die. If I'm paying for somebody to go on a trip, then it's gonna be some family members or somebody that I know gonna have my back when some shit go down. What about you, Glenn?
I mean, like I said, about it all. If they,
I can't hear you. Like your thing going in and out.
it had to been a setup, yo.
Yeah. So the video that had came out, I guess they were talking about going skinny dipping after they had played this drinking game or whatever, and it showed that she only had one drink. And they were taking shots. And so they in a room or whatever, and she's like walking around through the villa saying, "Yo, where y'all hoes at? It don't take you that long to get naked." The next thing you know, when she go in the room, the girl says, "I'm gonna keep it hot," and they start talking about a bathing suit. But before she actually enters the room, it's like this guy is standing at the door and tries to make it seem like he was just going into the room. But I think that was the lookout person because they was plotting. Lita, can charges be brought against the other guys for not stopping the fight? Yes. Yes, charges can be brought up because one is conspiracy um to to a crime after the fact. If you're not mad enough because of adrenaline, you can lift her. Yeah. Adrenaline, boy, adrenaline and drinking. You can do a lot of things with adrenaline and drinking. That baby was scared and hopeless all along with those cold-hearted monsters. Yes, she was. Shanquella dad said she wasn't a fighter, so they couldn't explain why she didn't fight back. True, Marquette, it well could be. But when you feel yourself in danger, you would fight. I definitely would fight. See, and that's why I'm wondering what was going on because it's almost as if they was chastising her. She's standing there butt ass naked, and the girl is fighting her, and she doesn't say anything or try to fight back at all. Then you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. Let's see. Me too, Daniela. I know my sister isn't a fighter, and she had let a girl hit her a lot until me and my sister and I ran and started beating them. But I don't understand what you were saying too. Apartment touring with my dad Leda, but I enjoyed the live and the information you provided for the case. Thank you, TT, for justice, and I pray for peace and everyone. It would have been found in the autopsy. You too, TT. Love you, sis. Love you, Margaret. Wait, hold on. Um, love you more. Let's see. This was a monster leaving Shaquilla in the room by herself. She died all alone as a mother of three daughters. Heart, yeah, my heart definitely breaks for them. Leda, thanks for talking about this. This is spreading what these monsters done. Just from Shaquilla facts, but spreading right. Yeah, I just don't feel like that was a best friend at all. These were all fake friends. Um, I definitely would. They need something done to them. Definitely need something done to them. And with Mexico being the cheapest place to get any type of medical services, that $5,000 either was their way of scamming the father to get back to the United States faster, or that $5,000 that they trying to see was trying to see how deep their pockets was. It was some reason why they just threw out that number of $5,000. That didn't just come out of the side of their neck, because they definitely didn't try to contact anyone in regards to medical help. No one. So, guys, that was all the lies that Mr. Jackson was trying to clear up. Was that Dejanay was actually a woman, and people kept saying that it was a man. Niger was the only one that went live, and that none of the others had even tried to schedule a live. That people were making fake pages. They keeping their mouth shut and they're in hiding. But Niger has since fled to New York. Dejanay is in Connecticut with her mom. Khalil's mom is hiding him, and the other three, they have no idea where they are. Remember, the news reporters have been trying to contact them. The police have been looking for them in all of their old locations and possible sightings of where they could be. They've had their phone numbers changed and everything else at this point in time. Some of them put fake numbers down for the villa, which it lets you know there had to have been something going on. Why would they put a fake number down when it came to the villa? Like as if they already knew some shit was gonna happen on the trip. And so they gave them a fake number for them not to be able to contact them. You got any thoughts, Glenn?
Uh, I think it. I just say, I think that it was all planned before they even left. You know what I'm
I do too. I think they planned it because it was off of a familiar territory. The sister and the boyfriend couldn't be there, to back her up and to help her. So as a guy, and you've been married before, Are you gonna be cool with your wife going with 3 dudes and 4 females on a trip without you?
I ain't, but
I can't hear you.
I ain't gonna let that happen.
Okay, exactly. So I don't know, y'all. To me, I would love to know why the boyfriend didn't go, or her sister, or somebody other than just the friends. I do know that Khalil had been on family trips. The mom said that out of her mouth that he been over for family holidays, they vacation together, all of that. And they just never would have thought that he would have let something like this happen. And then to bring the girls to her house that she got into a fight with, like that's bold as hell. That is bold as hell. Mm.
He gonna
But
get
y'all, huh?
charged.
Yeah. They all gonna get charged because they left. They left the body there.
Yeah, they all gonna get charged.
They fled the scene. They left in the commission of a crime, conspiracy after the fact, premeditated murder. It's gonna be a slew of charges, and they getting charged in Mexico and in the United States.
All of them gonna get murder charge though.
Yeah. Well, maybe in the U.S. I don't know about in Mexico because I'm not familiar with Mexican law, and I don't think because it's two different jurisdictions. Since it's in Mexico, I don't think that they can run their time consecutively. You know how here they run the time consecutively? I don't think they can because Mexico and the US is in two different places.
I think the U.S. go to get their people.
Say it again.
The United States might go to get them, and they're gonna trial them here.
Well, no, they already in the US. They left her body there and they all came back to the US.
What
They
I'm
didn't even speak to the police.
what I'm saying is, how some people they leave the country, right? And
Hmm.
outside the country, the United States will get them back over here, and they'll charge them here.
No, the FBI has already said that they are going to be charged in Mexico and the US.
What you gonna charge? How the U.S. is nothing happening?
Say it again.
How they gonna charge them in the U.S. if nothing happened in the U.S.?
Because they fled to the US and this is where they have been found. And then the video footage and stuff like that is coming out.
You only
So
can be charged a few, and they gonna drop the charge when Mexico get them.
I can't like you breaking in and out. Say it again.
They could be charged with fugitive from justice,
I still don't know what you said.
fugitive from justice.
Yeah.
But they gonna drop the charge when Mexico get them.
So what the FBI is saying, and you have to go and look at the actual video, they're going to charge them in both places because they are US citizens. And so this was a terrorist area, and so because it was a terrorist area they have a little bit more leeway with being able to charge them in both areas.
That ain't.
That's what the FBI said, and you can go watch the video, sir.
I mean, you might as well just go ahead and pay Mexico their money, because Mexico gonna give you their body for this money, and you just charge them over. You gon' That don't make sense. Because if Mexico get them, ain't nothing the United States can do now.
They're being charged in both areas because they were US citizens, so they're going to be charged as US citizens and they're going to be charged for the crime in Mexico. I'll send you the link so that way you can listen to it.
I'm listen to it. I ain't gonna sit here and tell you no story.
Okay. Well, y'all, we just want to clear up some of the things that have been put out that were false. And so, like I say, I am not familiar with Mexican law, so I definitely can't tell you guys in regards to Mexico. I can only tell you what the reports have said, and the FBI have stated that they will be charged in Mexico as well as in the U.S. But right now, no one has been arrested. The 6 are still out, and Shanquella was just buried on Saturday. And so many had donated, which was truly a blessing. Especially Kyrie Irving had donated $65,000 to make sure this young lady burial did take place. But we're not gonna keep you guys any longer. I hope you guys have a wonderful day and that you enjoyed it. It definitely is a heartbreaking situation, Miss Marquette. I hope and pray that justice is served for this young lady. Glenn, you got any thoughts before we get off?
No.
No. All right, y'all. So until next time, I am Miss Leda. I will talk to you guys later. Bye.